He's immortal. He's just immortal. Welcome to another episode. I am your gangster rapologist, here to talk more about gangsta rap and the topic of gangsta rapology. I am excited today because I got to listen to that Slick Rick album. I gave it a few listens over the weekend. It came out on Friday. If you haven't heard it, you got to go get it. You got to go get it. I want to talk about the album itself. I've been a Slick Rick fan since I don't even know, man. Maybe I was 10 or 11. One of the first rap records that I ever heard in my life. This was probably around 1988, and some kid in my class gave me this tape and told me, yeah, Slick Rick is his favorite rapper. And I was like, I don't know, all right, I'll check it out. I like raw bass. I don't know if I was listening to Two Live Crew yet. I don't think so. I think Slick Rick was the first, because I remember going to the flea market, and I'm a kid here, and I'm trying to convince my parents to buy me the Slick Rick tape, and they didn't. It had an adult story on there, It said adults only, and my dad was like, nah, but you can get that Tone Loc. All right, well, I got Tone Loc. I love Tone Loc. So, I had to get the tape from a friend, and it was just dubbed. But man, I absorbed that tape. The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. Y'all know that Slick Rick's creativity, his imagination was out of this world. For a 11-year-old or however old I was, a kid like me, listening to that tape, I mean, for me, I was on a ride, man. I was on a ride. Every minute from the start to finish, I memorized it. The whole tape, man. I memorized the tape. I loved the children's story video that would come up on TV every now and then still. That was tight. Slick Rick, he had that flow. It was just, nobody else had it. He had the lyrics, the storytelling, the cleverness, all of this before lyricism became like a snobby art. Slick Rick had created almost a genre by himself, I would say. And I only say that because there's so many rappers that are influenced by him. So many samples that he's been, that he created. He's been sampled so many times, and even the lyrics of countless albums are just throwbacks to Slick Rick's. And I'm talking about the gods using him, man. The gods of rap. He's like your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. We've seen his influence from Snoop, Esham, Nas, of course, all over the place. People have Slick Rick's fingerprints on their writing, on their lyrics, on their bars. And it's never really disrespectful. I've always taken those as a nod to the great Slick Rick. What a legend, man. What a legend. So to get another Slick Rick album 26 years later from The Art of Storytelling, man, it's just out of this world. The Art of Storytelling, in my opinion, I feel like Def Jam just kind of threw together the flavor of the years, what they had back then. I think Cannabis was on there, and I don't know who did the beats, but to me it sounded more of like an East Coast project with some hot names on there just to try to make it sell. And it didn't feel like a real Slick Rick project to me. It wasn't like the Great Adventures to Slick Rick the Ruler, and even Behind Bars was all right. Short, but it was good. It was all right. I think that The Art of Storytelling does have some cool tracks on there. There's some treats on there, some shit to put on your Slick Rick playlist for sure. But overall, it wasn't my favorite Slick Rick project. So I thought he was going to end his career on that note. I always hoped that we'd get another Slick Rick album, but after like 10 years since, that record, he was just too dormant. I was like, we're never going to get another Slick Rick album for one reason or another. I don't know. But out of nowhere, like a week ago, my homie sends me this link, and he's like, Slick Rick's coming out. I'm like, damn. I can't wait, man. As soon as it dropped, man, next morning, I listened to the record, and I'm like, holy crap. That's Slick Rick. He's back. And what impresses me so much is that he still sounds the same. Not even exaggerating, his flow is the same. He sounds sharp, he's on point. The music, the beats, they're all like a throwback to the late 90s when Slick Rick was on top. Nothing force fed here. We're not getting beats from the hottest people. We're not even getting a lot of features. We have two features. Some dude named Gigs, who's probably from another country, and then appropriately we get Nas. I was kind of hoping for some Snoop Dogg, but at the same time, you never know what you're going to get with Snoop Dogg. It could be a track way out of left field, or it could be hella gangsta. Either way, better safe than sorry, right? Because this album is so short, there is not a minute to waste. If you're listening to this record on your phone, you'll see that there's videos for a lot of the tracks. I can't say all the tracks, but a lot of the tracks. They're nice visuals, artistic even. I like the throwback, the younger Slick Rick on here. It's cool, man. It's cool. Especially the foreign track when you got these funny old people. This is where Slick Rick is asking his grandpa what he thinks about the song, and his grandpa's like, it's trash. It's pretty hilarious. And a lot of time, like what these legends will do is give you a track that self expresses their impact on the industry. He does that on the track called I Did That. And, to me, this is what you play at Slick Rick's funeral. And, yeah, rappers have countless lines throughout the decades. They already gave Slick Rick his props, but to hear it out of the mouth of Ricky D on a first person account, man, it's just what we needed to hear. He did that, yo. And I'm glad he told us. Good shit, man. He can still rock a party, even at his age. Come on, let's go. This is a party track. It's amazing that somebody at his age, and I'm just saying his age because he's like in that very first era for me of hip hop and gangsta rap. So it's been a long time coming, man. And to see that somebody that has the energy to do this at that age is amazing. The topics that he has on the record, I wouldn't even say that they're topics never done, but they're kind of like, they're just like, let's talk about Landlord, the Landlord song. Oddly, I didn't know I needed a Landlord track, but at this point in our lives, some of y'all have that experience of renting to people. And Ricky is pulling out a topic here that hasn't been done, but when you think about it, the core essence of it, it's been done a million times. The topic is really give me my money, give me my money. What a twist on a white collar problem. And, that proves to me why Slick Rick is the master storyteller. Landlord might be my favorite song on here. Just the way he writes, he paints a picture like nobody else. I love it. Nas comes up on another track, Documents, and they look dope together. A combination, it's always welcome, man. It's like a blessing when you get Nas and Slick Rick. It's like the teacher and the student. Nas was at his best on this song, and he spits shit that's heartfelt. He's got a way of doing that. He just has a way to connect them words with us, his listeners. Hella glad they got back for one more track, maybe the last track that they'll do ever. So with a short album like this, like I said, there isn't really room for error. So anything that was whack was very minor, but I found myself able to listen through each track every time without any skips. The music all felt like a throwback to that 90s Slick Rick, that era we all loved. I mean, there's no auto-tune on here. There's no Drake or any, flavor of the year type of shit. This was a throwback. Slick Rick sounds fantastic, like he never left. His lines cleverly written, and he's sharp as fuck, man. He's sharp as ever. When he was young, he had these crazy ass topics, creativity, just pumping out. It was amazing. And in this day and age, almost 3 decades later, his lyrics are just like appropriate for who he is, but they're still dope. Like, it's still like, damn, man, I love this guy's flow. I love how he twists his words. And I love the writing. This is Slick Rick. As for features, we got Giggs, we got Nas. I don't even know who Giggs is. He might not even be from this country, really. But I'd check him out, you know. I liked him on this track, and I'll probably check him out. Then Nas, you know, just totally appropriate. And that was it. You know, that was it. So not a lot of features, and I'm glad because a lot of people come back from hibernation in their careers just to make a compilation record, sometimes with people we don't even know or a bunch of stars. Either way, you know, he came back. It was short, not a minute to waste, not a compilation. It's a great album. Slick Rick, completely in control of his creativity here. He's completely in control of it. The beats, the writing, the theme, the whole thing. It's a Slick Rick project. This is a treat that I didn't even know we were going to get like until a week ago. It's just dope, man. He referenced his characteristics that, you know, they add to that mystique, like the eye patch and his prison time. You know, and every now and then he does those voices like where he plays another character. That's welcome. You know, that just shows how creative he still is. You know, y'all remember them tracks where he would act like a girl, or he did like the voiceovers for females or other guys, or, you know, whatever. He was like doing the voiceovers to all the characters in the stories that he was rapping. It was hilarious, and he's doing that on this album too. He brings that back. I love it, and overall as a whole, I love the record. I gotta give it a 9. You know, it can't be a 10. It's too short, but a 9 because I can listen to every song. It's Slick Rick in his true essence, in his purest form. There's no CEO trying to sell a million records here. This is just Slick Rick doing this for the love, I think, you know, for the love. That's what it feels like to me. Let's talk about this cover, though. This Victory cover, it just has like Slick Rick, you know, with his hands over his face, some big jewelry, the one eye looking at you, the other eye covered in his patch. This is an iconic record cover. I like that it's black and white, you know. I like the artisticness of it. There's nothing crazy about it. I don't know why he's using the purple for the parental advisory, but I'm on board. This is a cool record cover, you know? Nothing crazy, nothing whack. Simple, and I'm a simple guy. I give that record cover a thumbs up. The crown jewel of this record, even though I really like the Nas and Slick Rick duo track, I gotta go with Landlord, you know? The record starts off strong with a couple tracks that I'm like, man, this is going to be my favorite. But Landlord, in the end, really sticks out as the crown jewel, the shining gem of this record. Like I said, Slick Rick takes a topic of just give me my money and twists it into a landlord subject or some shit, you know. And the shit that he's writing about, these tenants, you know, the way they try to squeal on by, paying rent late, not paying at all, having excuses, dying, is crazy shit. I love it though, man. Landlord, crown jewel. It might not be like the great adventures of Slick Rick or even the Ruler's Back, but man, we'll always have those old records. And they've proven to be timeless over the years. But for today, I'm gonna appreciate what this legend has given us for 30 minutes of a listen, and it's enough to keep my ass happy for a while. Until I start thirsting for more and asking, hey, Slick Rick, you still sound sharp as hell. Why don't you do another record, man? Come on, man. Don't keep the people waiting. The guy's immortal. The record is dope. Like I said, I'm scoring it a 9. I won't throw shade at it for its length. It's just too focused. The project is too focused, and it worked out. Go listen to some Slick Rick. Let me know what you think about this record in the comments. Does the length piss you off? Do you want more? Sound off in the comments below. What is your favorite Slick Rick record? What is your favorite Slick Rick line? This is the Gangsta Rapologist, man. Thanks for showing up for this video. If you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe. We're going to keep doing more. Legends, they come out, man. We're going to check them out. Let's go. I'm out. Peace.